suppose I was 10 years old when those terrible events took place. My whole life's been turned upside down. After all that, I ended up in an orphanage. I am 18 years old now, and only now I finally decided to reveal everything that happened to me and my parents at that time. Those things were truly terrible and inexplicable. I still can't figure out what exactly it was. A whole week was like a horrible nightmare, and every single one of those damn days has remained so vividly engraved on my mind. But that's enough of the backstory. Now I will tell you everything from first to last. It was a sunny spring day back then. I came home from school in high spirits. The school year was coming to an end. The homework was already gone, and life was good. It was enough for a happy and carefree childhood. I went home already making plans for the day, namely to eat, change clothes, and play outside until night. The school wasn't far from our house, and the road didn't take me much time. I noticed my mother in the kitchen through the window once I approached the house, and a couple of minutes later, I was already running down the entrance to find something delicious. I went home, threw off my school bag, and immediately I heard my mother's questions from the kitchen.
How was school? Do you have a lot of homework? Are you hungry?
I just said I was hungry. I pretended that I didn't hear about the grades because I got an F in math that day, and I really didn't want to spoil that amazing day by being grounded and by my mom lecturing me. At that time, I didn't notice anything strange in my mother's behavior, but everything had changed in the evening of the same day. I had lunch and, as I said, changed my clothes and went outside. My friends were already waiting for me with an old dirty sword. Constantly, I got scars and headaches because of that sword. Probably some of you know what I'm talking about. Actually, I think most of you know it. So, the day passed quickly. We were already tired of playing when it was getting dark. One by one, boys were coming home after mother's call, others by their choice. The streetlights came on, and it was a kind of signal to me that any minute now my mother would come out on the balcony to call me home. By the way, my name is Mike. I forgot to introduce myself. But there was no one left, so I decided to go home willingly. That evening, I noticed some oddities in my parents' behavior. Children can indeed see something that an adult will either not notice or won't take seriously. As soon as I got home, everything was as usual. My father was lying on the couch watching TV, and my mother was doing something in the kitchen. First, of course, I took off outerwear and went to the bathroom to wash my hands. As soon as I opened the door, a strange, dark object caught my eye under the bathtub. I took a closer look and realized that it was some kind of book. It was weird. I still remember it like everything just happened yesterday. It was the embossed thick cover without title or signs. Of course, I was interested, so I opened it. The abundance of some words and various signs was there, but I was a child. I saw unknown words. I flipped through it a little and closed it. Now I know that it was some kind of occult book or something like that, with a lot of strange satanic symbols and incomprehensible words. But back then, I didn't understand anything. I closed it and put it back. At that moment, Mom opened the bathroom door as if she sensed something wrong, but I was already standing there, soaping my hands with an intelligent face.
What took you so long, Mike? It's getting cold.
I'm coming, Mom. I was standing right in front of the mirror, and in the reflection, I saw my mother glanced at the bathroom as if checking whether everything was in place. It was the first strange episode that I noticed. It was rather an object than an episode. I have never seen it previously in our house, especially under the bathtub. While bathing, I used to lose the soap and look for it under the bathroom, and that book was never there before. But I didn't take the strange discovery seriously, so I washed my hands and joined my parents for dinner. After that, I took a shower and went to bed. I was exhausted after such an active day, so I fell asleep immediately. In the middle of the night, I was snapped out of my dream by my mom's voice. It was coming from their room, and it was quite loud. It was like she was talking to someone, but I didn't hear anyone else. I couldn't make out what she was saying, because the doors were closed, both theirs and mine. And even when I got out of bed and opened my door, I couldn't figure out what the hell she was saying. I crept out into the corridor and leaned my ear on their door, and from what I heard, I got the impression that my mother just loudly and quickly says random words unknown to me. I had to get up early for school tomorrow, but I couldn't get much sleep with that noise, so I opened the door to my parents' bedroom to ask my mother to stop talking so loudly. It was very dark there, but I could recognize my mother's silhouette in her nightgown. She was sitting on the couch. Dad was lying on the bed. I still don't know whether he was asleep then or not. As soon as I opened the door, my mother's chatter stopped, and she turned to me. I felt her piercing and strange look in the dark.
Eavesdropping isn't good, son,
she muttered in a whisper.
Mom, I just wanted to ask you to speak quieter. I can't sleep.
My mother immediately turned away from me, as abruptly as if I offended, and lay down in bed and covered herself with a blanket. That 10-year-old kid wasn't interested in the question of how she knew that I was eavesdropping. The door was closed, and it was impossible to see through the gap under it that I was standing there. I quietly made my way to the kitchen, drank some water, and returned to my bed. And just as I dozed off, I heard the door from my parents' bedroom opening and quick footsteps approaching the bathroom. So I stared up at the ceiling again and listened to the silence. I didn't know who went to the bathroom, and what did he or she do there, but during the next hour and a half, no one came out of the bathroom. Later, I fell asleep again. My mom woke me up in the morning. As always, the delicious smell of breakfast was flowing in the air. My father was going to work. It was an ordinary morning, as always, so I completely forgot about what had happened that night. I didn't even ask my mother who she was talking to. I quickly ate the hot pancakes, drank tea, dressed up, and rushed to school. I don't remember that day at school, so let's go straight to the moment I got home. Just like yesterday, I dropped my school bag and went to the bathroom. My mom ran after me immediately.
Son, wash your hands in the kitchen, please. Why? Well, what's wrong, Mom? There's something wrong with the faucet. Dad will fix it later.
But a second before I opened it, and everything was okay.
All right,
I said, and went into the kitchen. That moment seemed strange to me even at the time, especially the way she was running from the room, although maybe there really was a problem, and she didn't want me to flood the whole bathroom. Today, both Mom and Dad came home from work early, and they weren't quite talkative. Usually, my mother was interested in my school and Father's work, and Father also had a lot of questions after the day to me and my mother. But on that day, something was clearly wrong. They were silent. They didn't talk about anything. The only words were to serve salt or something else during the dinner. They didn't talk to each other. No one even asked me about my day at school. No one checked the diary. Where was the F that I got yesterday? It was foolish, but I was actually happy about that, since they didn't know about that, and I wasn't grounded for that. Maybe they had a fight, I thought at the time. After dinner, I did the same thing I did yesterday. I was playing with my friends in the yard, but that night I made sure that something was wrong with my parents. In the middle of the night, I was awakened again by the footsteps outside my room door. I woke up and stared at the door as if I sensed someone was behind it. Just a few seconds later, I noticed that someone was slowly opening the door. Immediately, I pretended to be asleep. I heard that my parents came in and stopped by my bed. I barely opened one eye to look at what was going on. They were just standing there and looking at me. I felt those icy stares at me. They were bone-chilling, and for some reason, I was horrified. I was asleep and leave, but after an hour, as it seemed to me then, they didn't leave. They were still standing motionless next to my bed. Of course, I couldn't get any sleep. The whole time I was laying still with one eye barely open. But at one point, I couldn't stand it, and I pretended to wake up. I rolled over in my back and opened my eyes.
Mom? Dad? What are you doing here?
And suddenly they run off very quickly to their room, like naughty children, making strange noises and chanting the same strange unknown words to me. I was truly scared. For some reason, I began to see a connection between Mom and Dad's strange behavior and the book I found under the bathroom. The door to my room was left open, as well as to my parents' room. They were already in bed, but some mumbling was still heard from their room. I managed to fall asleep only at sunrise. When I woke up this time, there was no smell of delicious breakfast. Instead, there was some strange atmosphere in the apartment. I wanted to run away, somewhere far away. It was Saturday, so Mom and Dad were at home. When I sleepily left the room, I noticed some changes in the appearance of my parents. Mom's hair was a mess, although she always does her hair as soon as she wakes up. There were dark circles under her eyes. Her skin seemed to have paled a little, and dark blue veins were clearly visible under it, especially on the hands. My father looked the same. The book from the bathroom was already lying on the table in my parents' room. I was scared of it, as well as I was scared of the behavior of my parents. They still didn't talk to each other or to me. They only grudgingly answered me when I asked something or said something. They didn't smile anymore. Everything was getting worse. The food in the house was going bad so quickly. The meat and potatoes that were cooked only yesterday were already covered with mold and full of worms. Even the refrigerator couldn't preserve it. When I saw that, I realized that today I wouldn't be hungry. But I couldn't say the same about my parents. They ate all this spoiled stuff as if it was okay. I almost threw up when I saw my mother stuffing the already green meat into her mouth, along with the worms. She chewed it carefully and took another piece of it. My father behaved exactly the same way. The next 2 days were exactly the same. Mom and Dad looked worse and worse. Their bodies seemed to dry up. They became very thin. Their skin was even paler. Their facial expressions scared me more and more. In the days that followed, I only came home to spend the night. I had some savings that I used to buy food in the store since there was nothing edible at home. My mom no longer called me home as soon as the streetlights lit up. The light in the apartment wasn't turned on. I saw it from the bench I was sitting on. I realized that something wasn't normal, but I didn't know what to do next. Maybe I can talk to the neighbors? And what then? At least I can try. I went to my mother's friend on the floor below and rang the doorbell.
Hi, Mike. How's Mom? Is everything okay?
She asked me.
Mom and Dad feel bad. Something's wrong with them. Help me, please.
I said it almost crying.
What's wrong with them? I don't know how to explain it. Let's go up to them. You will see everything for yourself. Okay, wait a minute. I'll put something on. Hi, Jane. Where have you been? I called you home several times. I didn't hear you, Mom. He says that you feel bad. He came to me almost crying, asking for help. Mike, what are you talking about? Mom, I saw that something was wrong with you. You and Dad ate meat with worms. Is it normal for you? Jane, don't worry. Everything is fine. His imagination is running wild. Would you like a cup of tea? No, thanks. It's too late. Are you sure everything is fine? Yeah, don't worry. Well, I'm glad you're fine. Yeah, good night. You too,
she said and went away. The door was closed and I was really scared.
Go to bed quickly. I don't want to see you today anymore,
Mom shouted.
But Mom, I said quickly.
Oh God. She opened her mouth as some wild animal. I immediately ran to my room in tears and locked the doors. I went to bed, wrapped up in a blanket, and that's all. I was a child. What else could I do? I didn't hear any talks, only footsteps and some incomprehensible mumbling. I don't remember how long I lay there, but I couldn't fall asleep for a long time. That was my last night in that apartment. I woke up again in the middle of the night because someone was scratching at the door to my room. It wasn't hard to guess who was doing that. Then the door was opening slowly, and just like last time, I pulled the blanket and pretended to be asleep. I heard the door open, then it was nothing but silence. I opened one eye again, and what I saw made my blood run cold. My father was standing by my bed with that damned book in his hand. My mother was somehow holding on to the wall. Then she climbed to the ceiling and seemed to hang there. Their eyes were glowing in the dark. My father was whispering something as if he was reading something from a book. And all that time my mother just hung from the ceiling and made a nasty face by moving her jaw and sticking out her long tongue like a snake. I was a 10-year-old kid who was deep down understood that it wasn't going to end well. Everything looked like some kind of creepy ritual. I realized that I had to do something, but what to do when all that was happening in the room? Then, the turning point came when I saw my father take out our huge kitchen knife from behind his back and approach me, simultaneously whispering incomprehensible words, looking down at that book. I jumped out of bed and ran towards the door, pushing my father aside. I heard a terrible, shivering mother squeal. I ran out into the hall. I grabbed a mop and stuck it in the door handle to hold them there for a second. I grabbed my mom's bag with some money and ran outside. When I turned around, I saw two silhouettes that were climbing down the wall of her house. I ran as fast as I could, as far as I could. Sometime later, I risked turning around. No one was running after me. I spent the night on the street. Then I was looking for help. Fortunately, Mr. Johnson agreed to help me. We went to the police station together. I didn't have grandparents, or aunts, or uncles. No one wanted to apply for guardianship. I was sent to an orphanage. I do not know what happened to the apartment. Probably it is still empty. My parents, a month after those terrible events, were shot by the police officer when they broke into the apartment of the neighbors at night. Miss Jane was killed as well as her husband, but she managed to call the police before she passed away.